for this, we want to make sure we understand the difference between a normative statement and a positive statement. A normative statement is an opinion. It's just what we think should happen or what we think is our opinion. A positive statement is something we could measure. So let's do some examples here. If we have a minimum wage increases unemployment among young workers and low-skilled workers. So if we change the minimum wage, we could then see what happened to unemployment in these groups of workers. So this one would be a positive statement because it is something that we could measure. Okay, so the next one, it says if population decreases, housing costs will decrease. Okay, so if population decreases, housing costs will decrease. If we had a decrease in population, could we see what happened to housing costs? Absolutely, we could measure that. So that's also a positive statement. Okay. Now, the federal budget should be balanced on the average over the business cycle, but not every year. Now, when we see the word should, or we see the words ought to, that's an opinion. You should study more. That would be a normative statement because that's an opinion. Okay? So anytime we see the word should, we're going to assume that's going to make it normative because it is an opinion. Okay, so cheese pizza is better than pepperoni pizza, which I personally believe is true, but it's my opinion. You may think pepperoni pizza is better than cheese pizza, so that, again, it's an opinion. We can't measure it. It's a normative statement. Okay, so the distribution of income in the United States should be more equal. Again, when we see that word should, we can pretty much be sure it's an opinion, so that should be a normative statement. Okay, and the last one here says if the price of pizza increases by 5%, there will be an 8% reduction in the consumption of pizza. So again, we could measure that. So if we raise the price of our pizza by 5%, we could see what is the reduction in consumption. So that's measurable. That would be a positive statement. Okay, so you see the words ought to, should, anything that's an opinion, normative, anything we could measure would be positive.